I'm pretty sure that you're either paying your sales team a huge shit ton of money or you're spending hours trying to close a lead, and at the end, the only thing they have to say is, I need to think about it. And if that's you, I have a story to tell to you. Recently, one of our clients, whose name is Suraj, did something absolutely insane. And the thing that he did was he closed 10 clients out of 14 calls. That is approximately a 70% close rate. Now, I'm not saying that happens with everybody, heck, I myself don't, but when that happened, I knew there was this one system that I have to tell everybody, which I have built and I've helped my clients build, that helps them nurture their clients even before they come on a call, so they're already pre-convinced and they are just coming there to give them your card. And when that happens, all your sales skill, all everything, all negotiations just go away. The only thing you need to focus on is taking their money and helping them. Now, what is this tool? Let's discover it. This tool, and a lot of people know about it, is known as the brand, or what I love, or I like the word personal brand. Now, why is brand this powerful? Like, what will a personal brand do? Let's first take an example of one of the oldest brands that have ever stayed. Let's take an example of Apple. When you go in an Apple store, you're there just to buy. You go in, you don't negotiate about the price, you don't ask for the features, you're buying the status that Apple brings to you because it's a brand. The same reason for a lot of different things. When you go and you're trying to buy a Mercedes, you're not thinking about the price, you're thinking about the status it will bring you. You're pre-convinced. When you are going to buy the Suzuki Swift, you're not thinking about how much mileage and all that. You know that that car is reliable. You know that's the family car that you want. And you know it's in your budget. Stuff like this is what makes sales very simple. And imagine if you were Alex Hermosi trying to help everybody out. Do you think your customers would ask for a discount if you were Alex Hermosi? Because he, for his consultation, charges over $105,000. That's over 80 lakhs for consultation. And some people are not, that's not even the total yearly revenue. Now, when you think about that, the only thing that's above your sales skills, marketing budget, and everything is this thing called your brand. But it's very hard to build. Now, if you're a coach or an agency owner, here's how you put your personal brand and put it in your own sales funnel so your conversion rate skyrockets. Now, as we know, this is your personal brand. Let me just take this as your Instagram profile as an example. Let's say you're posting highly valuable, highly contextual Instagram content and you're also going viral. So you have some credibility on your page as well. So you have some credibility, you have some value. These are some prerequisites that you need to have. If your page has 0 posts and 2 followers, that doesn't help. So if you don't have that, you need to watch some other videos or hire us to help you do that. But anyways, let's say you have a good enough personal brand, good enough one. Now, usually this is how a sales funnel looks like. First, there is a lead that obtains in some way or the other. It could be in your landing page, it could be in a webinar, it could be any way. Then there is some sort of appointment, or a lot of people don't do the sales call method, but some sort of check-in that is more than an opt-in. It's like a way they are putting in their time. Usually people have opt-ins. Then they have the sales call. Now, usually people who don't do the sales call method, who are doing webinars, who are doing every other method that's not a direct one-to-one sales call, which the way I define this part is basically having the sales conversation. It could even be a landing page that literally has the price. That also qualifies in this bracket. And finally, follow-ups. I didn't have the space. And finally, you get the money. Now, the first part is opt-in. Usually people get it through ads or outreach. Now, how does content help in that? This one is very simple. If you're doing outreach, let's say you're doing social media outreach, when your Instagram account has 10k followers and a blue tick, it lands in the inboxes. It has a higher opening rate. I have a clear difference when I used a 200 follower account to do my outreach, and when I use my own account which has over 35,000 followers. In my account, the reply rate was approximately 7%, whereas in the 200 follower account, the reply rate was approximately 1%. So there was such a huge difference, right? So that's the amount of difference in outreach it can bring. And in ads, let's say if you are reaching out to 100k, 200k, 300, 400k people on a monthly basis, you can use these ads to retarget the same audience. And the reason this works really well is because when you retarget this audience that has already seen you, they already have built up trust, so they have a higher chance of clicking on your ad, hence boosting click-through rate. So in outreach, it increases your reply rate, increases your conversations. In ads, it boosts your click-through rate because people already know you. Anyways, next part is appointments. How does Instagram, like when, let's say you have gotten an opt-in, how does it help you get more appointments? Now, first, of course, there is the retargeting ads angle, but what are the other ways that once a lead has opted in, you can get them to convert? First is using DM automation. Now, here's the fun part about Instagram. I'll show you a quick example. So, for our recent client, we have launched a coaching offer. So, if you see, he got like these many comments. Now, this is also a form of opt-in, right? And if let's say they're not opting, they're opting in your landing page, you can probably direct them to your Instagram or direct them to YouTube. Anything, it doesn't necessarily have to be Instagram. But once they've opted in, a very great way that I have seen and which I have also in my landing page is having your own Instagram following, or some way, if they are, let's say, not booking an appointment, for them to go to your Instagram or social media so they can consume more content and come back warmer. But let's say, like that's the first part is from opt-in, send them to this, like for them to get nurtured, and then they automatically come as an appointment. Step 2, or the one I like even more, is in-platform opt-ins. This also works when you're, let's say, already having people from your opt-in to come to your Instagram. They will be more open to opting in inside your Instagram as well. Now, once they've done this, a DM automation automatically triggers, and now you have an open conversation that you can have with these people. And this is the same thing we did with, I think, Suraj, the guy I was giving an example of, is we have a setter on his account that goes and DMs every one of his followers, everyone commenting on his reels. And what they do is they have a conversation and they book a setting called an appointment with the person in the DMs. So if you, let's take this process, let me just clear it out. Let's say you take the route of taking the opt-in to your Instagram or YouTube for them to get warmed up. Now, once they have followed, considering your account has the credibility and value, a setter could get them to book an appointment. If that doesn't happen, you can have DM automations which will automatically consider themselves as an opt-in and push them towards the appointment. And if that also doesn't happen, because they have followed you, because they're continuously seeing your content, if they are facing the problem that you can solve, guess who they will book an appointment with in the future. So if you don't book a call now, it's definitely going to happen in the future, right? So let's say now somebody has booked an appointment with you. They have a bit of trust. They have come through the process. What can you do with them at that point of time? Here, for sure, Instagram is useful, but a thing that is even more useful is YouTube. But I'll be giving an example of Instagram. Let's say somebody has booked a call. I have a call day after tomorrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all reach out, or whatever, like on WhatsApp, on email, whatever pre-qualification or reminder sequence that you have, and I'll send my most viral videos to them, or the most valuable videos to them. Like I can even send testimonial videos to them. So what this will do is it'll make sure that they have some sort of idea or the exact mind space I want them to be in. An example of the types of content I like people to share with their prospects are these three. First is testimonial, for sure. Second is viral, the content that is already proven, because this will bring credibility. And third, and this is also very important, is mindset content. 90% of the problem, or like people struggle with in sales calls, is objection handling. If you can handle objections pre-call, you're Gucci. So sending mindset based videos to them beforehand really helps. For example, let's say in my call, I want people to think money is not a big concern and like it's really worth it. Like the example of Apple's brand being better than their sales system. Like they don't need a sales system, the brand is so strong, so brand should be a priority. If I want people to have that mindset, I'm going to share this YouTube video with them, this exact one, the one I'm making. I probably have one on Instagram as well. I'm going to share it with them, so at least 50% of them have the right mindset before they come on a call with me. Now these ones are usually before the sales conversation to make sure your conversion rate actually improves. Now the final one is my favorite because this gets back lost conversions. Most of your calls would end with an objection because of which you couldn't convert. These three will help you increase your conversion rate. This part will help you increase your sales. Because let's say once a lead has gone, they have like given you an objection and run out of a call, they're still following you on Instagram with the previous processes. And there is where you have to bring in a content known as objection handling content or mindset reforming, like whatever you want to give the name of, that sort of content. I'll give an example. This is something we did with our client Akash, and he doesn't have a huge ton of followers. That's not his goal, but all the people that don't convert follow him here. So all the content we also make are very specific to handling objections.
Clients pay for their time. Such ye hai, they pay for the end results. Even my client Sarthak, who is a physiotherapist.
Say, now even if I don't buy with Akash that day, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna see his proof. I'm gonna see the mindset that he has given me. For example, if the objection you got was I don't have time. Let's say the reel shows how you can bring out time, how most people are lying about their time, and that will show them a clear picture that bro, that was an objection. If you really want to change your life, you need to do it. It'll show them a mirror. And that is how you can get them back through the process to the funnel and reactivate the leads you have already lost. And basically, at the end of the day, even if they don't convert now, they convert sometime in the future, because with them, your brand, your status has already been created. And that's the power of the one tool which I call personal branding or general branding, for example, or the founder creating content. Now, if you're a coach or an agency owner who wants to make your sales processes seamless by integrating your personal brand into it and building your credibility and authority so you can sell your service like iPhone, click in the first link in the description. And I'll see you there, and I'll personally help you build a strategy. Peace.